Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name's Anita and I am a QHHT practitioner and I specialize in past life regression. I wanted to do a video today to give you more information so that you can really maximize your QHHT sessions with any practitioner around the world. And I really have 5 great little secrets that nobody really talks about, and you don't really hear much in the internet or Dolores Cannon's books or any of the videos that I see, because I just believe that practitioners are really busy at making sure you understand the process and that you're well prepared. So these are 5 little secrets that I'd love to share with you because I believe they will enhance your experience and also help you to understand how you can utilize hypnosis and how you can utilize this modality for specific reasons. So the first secret, number one, is your past life regressions. So contrary to the title, past life regressions, everyone thinks that they've got to go to a past life and that you're going to go to some time, some experience that you had in another time period. Well, it just hasn't been the case. So, in the last 5 years, all the practitioners internationally in QHHT have been reporting that clients are going to many different places. So, where are they going? Sometimes I have clients that stay in their current life and they basically go to experiences that they had forgotten, often experiences where they were really super happy moments, experiences where they relive accomplishments, could be marriages, births of children, graduations, obtaining degrees, things like that. So the subconscious mind sort of runs them through their current life. Sometimes I also get people that come out as animals. I've had clients that have been salmon swimming up rivers looking to spawn. I've had clients come out as dolphins, going through full lives in the ocean as dolphins. I've had clients come out as birds. I even had an instructor in the past that came out as an incredible bald eagle and went through her whole session about actually how she was shot by a hunter. So there's also people that go to spaceships. Those spaceships can be in the past, those experiences can be in the now, they can be in the future. They are also people having experiences going into other planets, other galaxies, other universes. So there seems to have been a shift in where clients go. So it can be the present, it can be the past, or it can be the future. But what's important to understand is there is no right or wrong. And sometimes when I have a client go stay in the present, they'll say to me in the session, is this right? Any place that you go is right, because it is with the understanding that your subconscious or your higher self is giving you an experience that is packed deep with information and knowledge, which is what you are ready for now to hear. So it will guide you in a way that you resonate with so that you receive the knowledge or the lesson or the information that it is trying to give you during trance. So never be afraid where you're going to go. Your subconscious or your higher self will only take you to a place and an experience of what you're ready for. Very important. So nothing to be scared of. The second little secret is we don't really talk much about breaking habits in past life regression. And I can personally speak to this myself because I've broken a habit of smoking. I smoked for 20 years and I've talked about it on my channel before. There is another type of hypnosis that is very valuable and effective in quitting smoking or overeating or certain types of fears or phobias as well. And it's called clinical hypnosis. I am also a licensed clinical hypnotist, and it is a very different process based in concurrence with QHHT by Dolores Cannon. I personally prefer QHHT, past life regression, because it gets to the root of why you have the bad habit. So, like we said, could be smoking, could be overeating, could be eating at night, could be, playing video games. You could have bad habit of constantly being on Instagram and your cell phone, disengaging with your family and your friends. There's all types of different habits. So basically, what happened with me was I was truly ready to break the habit, and I just didn't seem to have the extra willpower or courage just to get me going. And whenever I try to stop, I'd wake up in the morning and say, okay, today I'm going to stop. And I never would. By 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'd be smoking again. I needed to understand, first of all, why I was smoking. And so I'd come to a point where I really hated it. And I felt trapped and I felt in jail with it because it consumed me from the minute I woke up to the minute I went to bed. And I was like, I just can't continue to live my life like this because I was now being controlled by this habit. So I went through sessions of hypnosis. I'm not going to um, give any guarantees, but it took me, I believe, 3 sessions before I fully quit. And I was able to unpack why I was smoking. It was associated, of course, with self worth and who I was as a person and the trauma that I experienced in my childhood. And so I was able to unpack all that. And when I was able to unpack it, I went through a series of different healings, which got me to a state, I believe, that I was ready, I was done. And my subconscious really assisted me to do that. Now, I'm not going to profess to you that it's, we snap our fingers and all of a sudden you never smoke again, or you never eat a chocolate bar again, or, you see a spider and you're never scared again. It does take some work. Um, I did listen to my recordings over and over again, which is something that many clients don't do. They're very scared about listening to their recordings after the session, and it's very vital. It's part of the process, it's part of the healing, and it will also give you the extra oomph that you need, especially if you're trying to break a habit. So we don't really talk much about habits with past life regression because we're dealing with a lot of other things again. So that's a little secret. Be prepared, as I said, it may not happen in one session. You might need 2 sessions. I never would recommend you to do, one session directly after the other. With me, I did one session and then I waited 2 months, gave myself time to process, listen to my tape recordings, understand, heal and grow and expand. And then by the next session, I was already on a very different and expanded path of being really understanding who I was. So it's a bit of a process. And I think what's very important to understand is there is no magic pill. There's no magic pill, folks. If there was a magic pill, we wouldn't have cancer, we wouldn't have diseases, we wouldn't have all kinds of things. So work, self-work, hard work is involved in getting rid of these things. But QHHT hypnosis can be a wonderful, wonderful tool when trying to get rid of a bad habit. The next secret that I'd like to tell you is about questions. There are no questions that are off limits. So when you sign up for a session with myself, all practitioners are different, but I know based on doing over 100 different clients that I can basically ask about 35 questions to your subconscious while you're in trance. And so, what I like to tell people is when you are formulating your questions, put them in groups. So, usually, everybody has questions about relationships, about their careers, about their future. Then there can be spiritual questions, there can be habit questions, all types of different things. So, basically, people get really confused as to what they can ask. And literally, folks, there is no limit as to what you can ask, as long, of course, as that it's respectful to the practitioner and yourself. So if you want to ask, who shot JFK, you can ask that. You can ask what's going to be the next hot stock tip in the next week. You can ask, are your investments in the right place? You can ask, should I leave my job? Is my job good for me? Is my career in the right direction? Have I chosen the right career? You can literally ask anything you want. Did the United States, NASA, did they actually land on the moon? You can ask all the questions that you want to ask and get answers to. You can also ask questions about past experiences you may have that you're still left wondering what the heck happened. So, what happened in that particular situation? We often use this this can be very valuable for people when they feel they'd had contact with ET species. Many people feeling that they've been abducted or receiving messages or getting communication. So this is also a wonderful way to verify. So you can ask those questions. You can ask, am I taking the right vitamins? Do I need supplements? You literally can ask anything that you wish and put it on the table. And if you're working with me, I can get in about 35 questions in a 2-hour session. Sometimes I can even squeeze in a few more, depending on the questions and how they roll and how your subconscious answers. Often the subconscious gives wonderful, wonderful information, and sometimes the information can be longer. So the fourth thing that's really, really neat and important that I've discovered is that you can speak with deceased loved ones, and that includes even your pets. So I've had many clients speak with a mother or a father that passed away. And these have been really healing and wonderful sessions because often what happens with people is they never felt they got to say their last words. And there could be situations where something happened and, the mother and the father, or sorry, the mother and the son left in a very bad way. It was the last time they spoke and they had an argument. And now that person can carry that guilt for many years and feeling for many years if they'd only said this or if they've only done this. So these feelings of regret and guilt, and they can be very consuming on somebody's emotional state for many years. So you can ask to speak to deceased loved ones. You can ask to speak to your deceased mother, your deceased father, a sibling, a pet. Often pets, in my opinion, are very much our family members, and we love them greatly and unconditionally, and they pass away. You just want to know, are they okay? Are they around you? Some people still feel their past loved ones around them. And just having that sense of confirmation, knowing that they are indeed there and they're not losing their mind and they are watching them, because many deceased spirits still remain in a dimension that can contact and message you while you're in this dimension. So that's a wonderful way to connect and contact and make sure that you get to say your last words and you get to tell your deceased loved one that you're sorry and you didn't mean it to happen that way, and to get all that grief and that regret off your chest is really quite extraordinary. So that's a really important little secret, is that you can speak to deceased loved ones And that includes your pets, because your pets are a part of your family. They're empathic, compassionate beings, and they are no different in terms of souls than humans are. So, the last little secret that I want to tell you about is we don't really talk about this much either because we don't want to scare people. Is QHHT, past life regression, is an excellent tool for beginning as well as continuing the journey of healing from trauma and PTSD. So Dolores Cannon, when she first started almost 50 years ago, she worked with her husband in the United States, and her husband was in the military. And so at that time, they were experimenting on using hypnosis to help ex-officers who had come back from war, specifically at that time was Vietnam, and help them with their PTSD. And hypnosis, both used in clinical and past life regression, was shown to be very helpful. So the wonderful thing is you don't have to relive the experience. Your subconscious is very good at being able to help you indicate what is the trauma and what is blocking you and stopping you. And it's also very good at helping you to open up yourself so that you can begin the healing process and move your way forward through trauma. It's a wonderful tool. It's, again, I believe with major traumatic issues, repetitive hypnosis can be very, very valuable, both clinical and past life regression. And basically, what I see with patients, and they often say to me after they wake up or even when they're leaving, is that they feel a great weight lifted off of them. The secret really is that when we do past life regression, we work in the theta brain wave state. And this has been scientifically proven by many scientific journals throughout North America and Europe, is that the theta brainwave state is the deep healing state of the conscious subconscious mind. This is where we store, like a computer, we store all the memories, all the emotions, all the emotional states of what we've gone through in our life. And what hypnosis does is it helps you to release it, acknowledge it, let it go, and then begin your journey to heal it. And sometimes what I say to people is the first step, getting rid of a habit. Trauma is almost, in my opinion, like a habit because it's a loop that replays in your mind over and over again. Is the first step is to acknowledge that it happened to you. And in that acknowledgement, that's how you can begin your journey to acknowledge it, accept it, heal from it, forgive from it, and let it go. So I hope these things have been valuable for you today. And if you'd like to book a session with me, I will put a link in the box below. I hope you all find ways to help yourselves through these journeys with QHHT hypnosis. It's a wonderful, incredible tool that is just not spoken about enough. Dolores Cannon was a great trailblazer and still is today, as we have thousands of QHHT practitioners that practice all over the world. And it's a wonderful phenomenon to see it grow and expand with the times and people. So it's not a modality that stays stuck in the past. Thanks for listening. If you like this channel, leave me a like. And if you'd like to hear any further topics or anything that's on your mind, any questions, just leave me a message in the comments below. Thanks very much and have a great day.